Hey, this is Dave Loves Comics, man. I'm gonna do a quick little video right quick, man. I saw the new Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse. Wonderful film, checking it out. But then I'm gonna give a free one to Disney and Marvel. I'm a casual Spider-Man fan, as you can see here. Just casual. But here's the thing. The dilemma is people's talking about when we're gonna see the live action Miles Morales. So I wanna really talk about that real point. And I really want to emphasize that the only way you can do it, because Chris and Phil Lloyd, the way they have put this film together, no one can touch the Miles Morales. And the only thing, the most simplified thing they can do is this Miles Morales visits the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because here's the thing, Miles Morales is owned by Sony. And I know people thinking like, oh man, let's just have, Miles Morales come on in and, we've have hints of him. But Sony is not letting go of Miles Morales. They're not going to. Spider-Man is already owned by Sony. Walt Disney is borrowing him. They ain't finna give up another Spider-Man. You can just. That's just not going to happen. And so, but do we want him in the world of Morbius and Venom? I know it's fans of both of those characters, and the Raven, and like they make in the movie when I'm in sports, they make hints of it that it can actually happen, but it's kind of done the Roger Rabbit way. But that's not, they Disney and Sony to get together and not retell the origin story in the Disney world, because Tom Holland Spider Man, they've already borrowed Gank and other elements of the character, and so it's kind of like, so they didn't have this animated version come into like when he goes to the Lego world, he's Lego. When it comes to art or different versions, they should have someone play him, crossover, meet the Tom Holland Spider Man, and just have a couple of adventures in the film, and that is it. And not make a permanent Miles Morales, because then he can go back to the animated world, which people are used to. 100 Spider-Mans per movies, flipping around and doing things like that. They have the compromise of it, because the Brian Michael Bendis did a story, Spider-Man, which was the movies are inspired by two Spider-Mans meeting, but it's done very differently. Comic books can't be into films, but they can simplify it. And the factor in the comic book, which amazingly was Mysterio, because who's to say he disappeared? But Mysterio in the comics was someone. Mysterio found a way where he can be in different multiverses. In the Tom Holland world, he stated that this is the 6161. He came in, and Spider-Man's like, oh, it's different multiverses, and that was the first signal. Have him come back and drag in, uh, and they have not done. They've done Mysterio a tank, but it could be more than one Mysterio. But they can say that there's some Mysterio that make an appearance that brings in this Miles Morales. Because any other way, no one wants an origin story. No one wants, okay, there was a young kid and, the Prowler had a nephew. Let's just say, that happens. That's another Miles Morales in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And just light it up. But that is the only way, because any other way, Disney is not going to have Miles Morales. That Sony's not letting him go. But then you don't want Miles Morales in the Venom world, because that's enough. You want a version of him, just so he pops up, so you don't have to get that weight of doing an origin story and finding a spider from 42 to bite him, because these films are already cemented what he is, and it's still fresh, and they're making tons of money with it. Just have him pop up in this world and just say, this is that Miles Morales animated is the Miles Morales that we're going to stick with. That may occasionally, maybe visit for the Secret Wars like that. But we don't need another person to get bit all over again, things like that. But they're going to have to do it. And really, to me, to do it in that way, you're going to have Chris and Phil Lord who's writing and put this thing together to be a part of it, because we can't let the reins go. Maybe for live action vibe, I think of Edgar Wright, who in a lot of works he's done. Maybe he can come in and help out with with a live action component and them doing a story, uh, and go full with it, and put the gamut down. And then I really say that because really to sum it up, because Chris and Phil Lord, you have to remember that these talented brothers, they trying to make live action and they're putting their edges on it. But they have, they were supposed to do Solo in the Star Wars film, that didn't work out. They were supposed to do The Flash, which ironically is out the same year. They were supposed to do The Flash and that didn't work out. So you're looking at working against the canon, time travel, and put the pieces together. And because things didn't work out, they went ahead and kind of put their objectivity and their flair out there, and got the creation of this movie. Because it's punk rock, folks. It's like no one is going to do this character like us. But that's what I just want to, just popped in my mind. And people are like, we want a live action Miles Morales. And it's like, do you? Do you? Because the people who really, I admire Sony for the animated works and the attempts with the Venom, but to let there be Carnage and Morpheus, that's just, it's not enough. But Sony owns Miles Morales, and they're not finna, like I say, they're not gonna, hey Disney, you want to make your own version of Miles Morales? No, that's not gonna happen, So that's my little 3 cent out there today, folks. And man, I'm just rambling. I got the shirt on today, and I was looking at my pops and said, man, let me make a quick little video. But all right, folks, you guys take care. Bam.